At a time like this, where job seekers outweigh the number of job opportunities out there, it is quite challenging to get your resume to the desk of the recruiters. Even though your resume is the best fit for that role, the most challenging is when there are other people who are more experienced and skilled than you are. This is more common in tech because it's becoming more saturated with people going into tech. There are free boot camp, paid boot camps, and people organize internship programs where people just learn and then they move into tech, cybersecurity, UI, UX, data analysis, data science, machine learning, AI, web development, mobile development, DevOps, and then just tons of skills. People are just migrating to be able to get into the tech space. So you could see that it's becoming more competitive and more challenging to get jobs. While some are actually stressed over applying for jobs and getting rejection mails, there are other people who are successfully juggling between multiple gigs and then while they even maintain their full-time roles. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Tech with Alex Paja. In this video, I will walk you through the 5 best tips that can move you from just applying for jobs to positioning yourself for opportunities, partnership, and reviewing offers out of the box. You don't want to miss out on these tips because they're going to help you a lot. Stick along while I walk you through them. The first is write and share your experiences. You may be wondering, why should I be writing about what I do? Why should I talk about what I do? And then it's stressful to create content, to write articles, to publish articles, and then so where do I get started and all of that? And then like I'm not good in writing, I'm not that, I'm not this, and then so just talk about your experience, share it, talk about it on social media platform. It could just be a post. Maybe if you're not familiar with writing technical articles, you can start with non-technical articles to see what it looks like, and don't be scared about engagement. Sometimes you may post a content and nobody will engage it. It's fine, just keep on going. When writing or talking about experiences will make your profile on social media platforms to be visible. There are times whereby someone will reach out and say, "Hey Raf, thank you, I used one of your articles to complete my final year project." And someone will reach out and say, "Hey, thank you, I used your article to start a project I'm working on," you see. And if they have a need for a developer, then what do you think? They will actually reach out to me. Absolutely. So this will move me beyond just applying for jobs to a point whereby there is a company, a recruiter on my social media page who is seeing my post and then they are engaging it. So with time, they'll become more interested in my profile and be looking forward to my content I post regularly. On my YouTube channel, I have a video where I talk about why you should document your experiences in detail. I cover a lot of tips there that is going to be helpful. I talked about how I got certain opportunities and all of that as a result of documenting my experiences. So the next point is build or support or contribute to tech community or communities around you. Now you see, there is this tech events, virtual meetup, that companies organize, and then they want people to come together and talk about their product or share knowledge. You want to be part of those communities, just volunteer. You could be the one who is the host, who is the organizer, or you are giving a talk. It is another way to be seen by that company. Imagine you are talking about a big company, you're talking about a product, and then from that conversation, people are now beginning to engage that product and say, "Hey, I heard about this product in social meetup, and then this person spoke about it and I became interested, I want to pick up on it." And then you hear things like developer expert and all of that, people being awarded, people being mentioned on big companies platform, talking about how they've contributed to the community growth. You want to do that, and especially open source. You want to find an open source project where you contribute to. It's going to bring you right before recruiters. Recruiters are actually looking for these things. It's going to bring you right before them, and then you will not have the need to always want to, like, all the time you are shooting. There's a difference between applying for a job randomly and then when someone says, "Hi, nice to meet you, send your resume to this email, I want to do a follow-up from the back." Those are just two different things that can happen. So, and then part of this contributing to tech community is the fact that it will make you to network with other people. It will bring you before, people who are already professionals in what you do, and then people who also need your services. There's this session where they say network, or there's a session where you meet people, you say, "Hi, my name is this, I do this, I do that, I'm available for this, I'm available for that." And then so you get to network with people, and then the person can just say, "Okay, just send me a message tomorrow, I will talk to my boss to employ you, I'll talk to my boss to get into the team." So that's just that on building or supporting or contributing to the tech community. Is another tip to help you go beyond just applying for a job, because you can actually meet someone who can put in some word for you to be able to get that opportunity. Like this point I'm sharing, they are not just research. there are things that worked for me. There are projects I've gotten into that these people who bring these projects are people I met at tech events, and then we just exchange contact, and they're like, "Oh, I remember you said you do this. Are you available for this?" And they were looking for someone. They've already reached out to someone, and then, but if you're available, I'm going to put in a word for you. So you want to try this when next you hear about a tech community event around you. Just get into that event, talk about what you do, and then just apply to be a speaker, or you could be the organizer, the host, or the co-host for such tech event. It will actually make you to be visible. The next point is have a tailored resume and a social media profile. So you need to have a section on your either any of the social media page where you mention about your resume, where anyone can actually look into those resume without having to message you. They can go through it, and then it's actually tailored. You are a front-end developer, you are a full-stack developer, you are a back-end developer. Let it be tailored to something you are more comfortable with, or something you talk about always, and let your social media profile be tailored to what you are good at. Like I said in the first point, you have to write or share your experiences. So when you are doing that, it's actually helping to build and tailor your resume for a particular niche, for a particular career in tech. Recruiters or organizations who are looking to fill roles for that career, they can actually reach out to you and then say, "Hey, we saw your resume, we saw what you do and all of that. Are you available for XYZ?" So this can actually position you for opportunities and partnership. So the next point is personal branding. Now this is about building your image and what you represent, what you stand for, what you are known for. And then part under this personal branding is integrity. You want to be pretty sure to be honest. You want to be really honest when you are dealing with clients, or when you are dealing with a project, or when you are working for an organization. You have to be honest. Maintain that integrity. Let it be known that, well, this person, for this thing, this is what they stand for. And then the next is that you must have a good character. Now, no matter how professional you are, no matter how skilled you are, nobody would want to just say because you are skilled, you can talk anyhow, you can do anyhow, you can act anyhow, and then just, that's not really. And then sometimes it may not even be for you, for the place you work. It could just be how you handle social media posts. You just go into one post and then you drag anybody, you drag any company, you just tag a company under a post that has a lot of engagement and say, "You people did this XYZ, it is bad, it's terrible, blah blah blah," and then there is a recruiter just looking at you. I was like, well, I mean, this person can do this thing. It means if they're in our company tomorrow and then our company project, our digital solution has problem, they can even join the crowd to criticize the project. Are we saying that people should not talk about bad solutions or solutions that are not effective? No, people should talk about it, but there is an approach. There is what they call the feedback. People have FAQ on their page, frequently asked questions. People have emails for help. You can actually tag the company and then talk to them, not dragging them and then just putting insults all around. Or probably you are in a team, you are just mismanaging conversation, talking to your team members anyhow and all of that. So these things can actually help when you have a good character. Someone can look at you and say, "Okay, well, I think I like the way I work with you." When there's another project, they'll just get you on board without you having to send your resume. Character can actually be your resume sometimes, and integrity can actually be your resume. Still under this personal branding, there is authenticity, where you are real. If you are a junior developer, you are a junior developer. If you are an intermediate developer, you are an intermediate developer. If you are a senior developer, you are a senior developer. There is no need to be, I have seen people's profile. They use funny names, nerd, senior tech, big names, the tech engine, the big bro. All those fat names, the taxis, and then when they get into a team and they realize that, this is not it. I'm not saying that people should not sell themselves or something, or talk about what they do with confidence. No, that's not what I'm saying. You should actually talk about what you do with confidence. But I'm actually saying that what you cannot do. So for example, you've not deployed a Flutter project to Google Play Store or Apple Store, and someone reaches out and say, "Hey, I needed help. I'm trying to deploy an application to so store. Have you done that before?" Even if you have built a project and you test it on a mobile device, as long as you have not deployed any project, you don't have an experience on that, even if you have the idea. So you could just tell the person, "Well, I can try. I've not done that before, but from my experience of building mobile apps that I've been able to contribute to a team, and it was shipped to production environment and then being deployed on a store, I can actually do this thing. Because the reason why I'm saying this is because I've seen cases where people say, I am this. And because they said I am this, they are being given task for that level. So you come to a project and you say, I'm a senior React developer, and they give you task. They give you like 4 tasks. Those tasks can be given to junior developer and they'll be expected to deliver it in 4 or 5 days. But because you said you are a senior developer, they'll give you those tasks and tell you to deliver it in a day. And then unfortunately, because the person was just not being real, then they now begin to complain. Don't you know those tasks are much, blah, 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 and all of that. But if you say you are a senior or you are an intermediate developer, there are certain things that should not take you time. There are certain things that can be done with ease. So still under this personal branding is packaging. You want to use your profile picture on your social media pages and how you talk. When they are talking about the framework you use to build projects or your stack, how you communicate, how you comment on social media posts, what it looks like. There's this packaging you do, and then when you are talking about your project, there's a way you talk about them. You talk about them with this level of with the sense of marketing. So when you do these things, like when you have a good branding, people can reach out to you. I think there was a time where someone reached out to me about my GitHub my README portfolio on GitHub. I was like, I like the way you did this thing. How did you achieve it? Can I copy and then edit? And so I was like, fine, you can actually go ahead. I've seen people talk about those things and then they'll be like, I like the way you did this. Your resume is there, your social media is there, and all of that. So if you brand yourself properly, company will see these things, individuals will see these things, and they will reach out to you and say, hey, are you available for this project? Are you available for this? And then that can actually help. So there are times whereby people just say, well, I like how you work, and then there's a project, I'm going to get you into that project. These are projects that ordinarily I should be applying for. I will send my resume, I will go through probably a tracking system that will actually scan my resume if I'm fit, or give me a rejection mail, and then they would schedule for interviews, schedule for questions, for technical questions, for coding reviews before I get into those teams to work. But here I am right into that team working with, because someone just said, this person, I know this person, character wise, integrity wise, you can actually work in a team, get the person on board, and that's all. So you get into the team without having to wait for applying for jobs and all of that. The next point is use your social media tools professionally. I mean, it could be any of them. You just have to be professional in the way you communicate, in the way you talk about what you do and how you contribute to certain posts, articles, and all of that. You want to be able to see, probably there's a company you are interested in, you follow their handle. Whenever they post something, you comment, you can talk about the product, and then you keep it very organized. It is not something you use for a mixed conversation. Today you are talking about politics, tomorrow you are talking about businesses, you are talking about this thing, and then there are always conversations that leads to conflict and confusion. There are all these conversations that lead to people having to argue and mentioning your name and then tagging you and all of that. So I've seen job opportunities where they requested for a mention, a wordy mention, like, have I done anything before where somebody mentioned me on social media that I should share the link? So you could imagine that. So it means if I share the link, through that link, they'll go to my profile, my social media page, and check all of what I'm into, and then they'll be able to access if I'm a good fit. Okay, so the last one is offer free or affordable digital solutions to problems. So this could be like, for example, as a UI UX person, you are looking for opportunities, you are looking for a job, and you have not seen any. You are applying for a job and you have not gotten an invitation for interview. You could just look for a project or a mobile app or a website and then redesign it and reach out to those who own it and say, hey, I did this thing. Do you mind to get a front-end developer to implement this thing, and then just for free? And the reason why you have to do this is because in your resume, you will now have the opportunity to mention that you have done that design for that company. And what happens is that when you do such a thing for such organization, they will always mention you to other organizations, because people will be like, well, I like the way your website looks now. How did you get it done? You'll be like, okay, yes, I think there's someone who reached out and did this redesign, and then you can actually contact the person. You see? So you don't have to go through applying for jobs sometimes. Sometimes these things are the best way. In fact, they are the most recommended ways for anyone to land opportunities, for anyone to position themselves for offers. So as a technical writer, you can actually work on the documentation of any product, and then reach out to them and then just say, hey, I just wanted to contribute to what you are doing, and I actually redesigned how your documentation looked like, and that's all. So some organizations will actually mention you, or some organizations will actually say, oh, thank you, take this, or if you are available for a gig, and then they get you into the good job. So this is how this thing works. There is no, like I said in the beginning, some persons are looking for a job while others are actually having multiple gigs. People are actually reaching out to them to handle the project because they can actually vouch for them. So when this person recommends you to a particular person because of what you've been doing that they've seen, you can now charge as you like. I mean, that's one of the way to charge projects very well. This one, when you apply for a job, right, you always get this thing. There's a fixed price, there's a budget for your salary, there's a budget for to keep you for 6 months or 1 year. But when it comes to recommendation, when it comes to opportunity or an offer, someone will be like, I saw what you do. You write technical articles, and I want you to write an article. How much will you charge? Then you can say, oh, I will charge this amount. And they'll say, well, can you negotiate? Can you bring it down a bit? Can you do this? Okay, we'll offer it, and then we'll pay you for the first time. Can you do this? Our next article or our next stuff, we will pay you this. And you see, that being said, those are the 5 best tips that can take you from just applying for jobs to positioning yourself for opportunities, partnership, and reviewing job offers. Let me know what other tips have been helpful to you in the comment section. Don't forget to like the video. If you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please click the subscribe button and then share this video with your friends. Until next time, bye.